bring power to himself or to the government, but to empower the people so that they might self-govern and won't need a great deal of external government. I'm saying all of this not to try to be political this afternoon, but I want you to understand what is happening in our country and what's happening in our culture. It is the polar opposite of what we ought to be praying will happen. And that is that we are creating an entire nation in which people are increasingly turning to a new God, the God of government, to do for us what we ought to be doing for ourselves, starting with raising our kids, taking care of our families, and protecting and preserving life and the institutions of this great nation. And the primary priority responsibility of a leader is to develop, first of all, righteousness, because there can be no sense of self-government if we don't know what the rules are. And the nuttiest thing that has happened in our culture is this idea that there are no fixed rules, no absolutes. Well, of course there are. Even in the physical realm there are, and in the spiritual realm there most certainly is. And beyond righteousness is to develop responsibility. A responsibility so that every person recognizes that I will not need a great deal of government if I govern myself. I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but if everybody lived by one simple law, the golden rule as taught by Jesus, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, we would need no other law in the books. That would cover it. We would have no domestic violence, no armed robbery, no burglary. There would be no murder. There would be not even so much as a speeding ticket if every person would absolutely live their lives by the maxim of Jesus that says, you treat others like you'd want to be treated. That covers it all. And every law we pass is a law that we have to amplify from that basic law because somebody has decided that they're going to skirt around it and find a way to cheat it. The reason we have Bernie Madoffs in the world is because we have a culture of corruption. Wall Street did not melt down because it was a money problem. It melted down because there was a moral problem, and it's high time we address that what really is breaking this country is not a lack of money, it's a lack of morality, and without righteousness and character, our nation will perish. And it's not just righteousness, but it's responsibility. The responsibility of accepting that others cannot be delegated to do for me what God has placed me on this earth to do for myself and for my family. People ask sometimes, how come government is so big and so expensive? And quite frankly, the answer is because as our character and morality break down,